The first harmful effect occurs on the body of host is anorexia, means loss of appetite or decrease in food intake by the parasitic infected animals. This ultimately leads to various types of abnormalities inside a host. क्योंकि यदि पैरासाइट इन्फेक्टेड होस्ट खाना खाना कम कर देगा तो उसका हेल्थ स्टेटस डिक्रीज कर देगा, which ultimately loss of body weight, decrease the production, milk production, drought power capability, as well as reproductive capability of the host. So first harmful effect is anorexia. Then second harmful effect of the parasite caused inside the host is utilization of the host food. As you name, parasite is an organism which depend metabolically on different groups of animals. So they take food or nutrition from their host. So parasite utilize food ingested and digested by host, which result in malnutrition, deficiency of nutrition in the host, that results weakness, emaciation, loss of body weight in the parasite infected host. Means parasite जिस host में रहेगा, parasite तो host से वो nutrition लेगा, क्योंकि parasite is metabolically dependent on the host. Host से nutrition लेगा, in nutrition in terms of different sucking of the different micronutrient, different type of, and sucking the amino acid, carbohydrate, and fatty substance. So these are the nutrition which utilized by the parasite and taken by the parasite from the host. One of the important deficiency occurs during the डायफाइलोबोथ्रियम लैटम इन्फेक्शन. जैसा कि हम पहले बता चुके हैं, डायफाइलोबोथ्रियम लैटम is commonly known as broad fish tapeworm. This is a type of cystode commonly known as broad fish tapeworm. Two intermediate hosts are required for the complete of life cycle. Final host is dog, man, and in first intermediate host is cyclops, and second intermediate host is fish. So man or dog में infections, plates acquired metacystode infected fish को खाने से infection man and dog में होता है. तो important harmful effects caused by the diphyllobothrium lactam infection is pernicious anemia inside the host, because diphyllobothrium lactam absorb vitamin 2, much more amount of vitamin B12 from the host, and vitamin 2, which result deficiency of vitamin 2, and which ultimately cause pernicious anemia in the host. So हमेशा आप याद रखिएगा, diphyllobothrium lactam infection absorbs much amount of vitamin 2 from the infected host, which results pernicious anemia inside the host. Then some of the parasites hit the host tissue and take the nutrition, like Fasciola. Fasciola is a trematodal parasite. Fasciola is commonly known as liver flukes. Definitive host is cattle, buffalo, sheep, and goat. फैसियोला जनरली कैटल, बुफेलो, शीप एंड गोट के इमेच्योर फैसियोला लिवर पैरेन्काइमा में रहता है, एडल्ट फैसियोला वाइल्ड डक्ट में रहता है. So during fasciolar infections, immature fasciolar flukes migrated through the liver parenchyma and cause mechanical damage of the liver parenchyma, which also lead to hemorrhage in the liver tissue and feed on the liver tissue due to the spines present on the body surface of the fasciola parasite, which lead to mechanical damage and ingest the body hepatic tissue of the host. Then immigration of the immature fasciola lead to mechanical damage of the hepatic tissue, and finally adult fasciola hepatica found in the bile duct of the host. So fasciola hepatica infection, fasciola parasite take the nutrition by the ingestion of the hepatic tissue and also cause mechanical damage as well as cirrhosis of the liver. Cirrhosis of the liver in infected host. Then some of the parasite take nutrition or feeding the blood of the infected host. So some of the blood sucking parasite take the nutrition from the host by sucking the blood. जो blood sucking parasite है, जो blood mainly blood suck करता है, blood suck के द्वारा अपना nutrition लेता है, तो वो host से blood suck करता है. तो commonly voracious blood suckers parasite are is Haemonchus. Haemonchus contortus. Haemonchus contortus is a round worm. एक गोल कृमि है, एक निमेटोड वर्म है जो सीप एंड गोट के रूमेन में पाया जाता है, स्टोमक में पाया जाता है. तो कॉमनली नोन एज स्टोमक वर्म. Haemonchus contortus is commonly known as stomach worm because it's found in stomach of the infected host. And Haemonchus is a voracious blood sucker parasite, means बहुत ज़्यादा ये blood suck करता है infected host से. That leads to anemia in the infected host. तो देखिएगा जब Haemonchus contortus रहेगा sheep and goat में, तो उसके आई के कलर से ही आई पेल कलर हो जाएगा, समझिए कि एनेमिक हो गया है Haemonchus, क्योंकि voracious blood sucker parasite है. So loss of blood has calculated and estimated that each Haemonchus contortus blood suck 0.05 ml blood per worm per day. So loss of blood depend upon the number of worms present inside the body of the host. Then another blood sucking parasite is Ankylostomum caninum. This is also a nematode, एक राउंड वर्म है जो sheep, goat, cattle में different species मिलता है. Like Ankylostomum caninum found in a small intestine of the dog. So and calculated and found that 0.1 ml per Ankylostomum caninum worm suck the blood per day from the infected host. Another group of parasites which suck much amount of blood is tick. Tick is known as, जिसको ऐसे हम लोग इधर चमुकन, अठैल, किलनी भी बोलते हैं, लेकिन commonly known as in English tick. Generally female tick suck the blood from the infected host. This is one type of ectoparasite found. This is the macroscopic parasite we can see with the naked eye on the body of the host. So each female tick suck about 0.5 to 2 ml blood per tick per day. So this results loss of much amount blood from the infected host. So all these parasite cause anemia in the infected host, and loss of blood ultimately affect the health status of the host, which cause decrease in production, milk production capability, reproduction capability of the host, as well as decreased body weight of the host. So some parasite also suck the blood from the infected host. Then one of the important parasite is amphistomes. There are various species of amphistomes. One of the most common amphistomes is Parasitology cerevisiae, is a stomach fluke. पहले हम बोले हैं हिमोकस इज ए स्टोमक वर्म, वो निमेटोड है. दिस इज amphiostome is a stomach fluke because it is a trematodal parasite and found in the rumen of the stomach. Rumen of the stomach. This is the stomach amphistomes, pink color stomach found in the stomach of the infected host. Amphistomes, generally adult amphistome and non-pathogenic, found in the stomach of the infected host, but immature stage of the amphistomes are plague feeder. Plague means they damage the mucosa. They have amphistome has suckers. Suckers help in attachment of the host. So they scratch or damage the mucosa of the duodenum or intestine during the migration from the duodenum to stomach, where the adult fluke located. Means amphistome का adult stomach में रहता है और immature fluke सर्वप्रथम वो duodenum में आता है. तो सकर्स के द्वारा इंटेस्टाइन को पकड़ते हुए ऊपर चढ़ता है वो, क्योंकि स्टोमक में इसको फाइनली जाना है और वहां पर एडल्ट पैरासाइट एडल्ट फ्लूक में कन्वर्ट करना है. तो ड्यूरिंग द अटैचमेंट विद द म्यूकोसा ऑफ इंटेस्टाइन they engulf damage the mucosa of the intestine, and this disturbs the selective permeability of the intestine. This leads to hypoproteinemia and absorption of the nutrient and protein in hindrance, which is created through the infected host, and this leads to hypoproteinemia, क्योंकि उसमें प्रोटीन का absorption रुक जाता है. selective permeability इंटेस्टाइन का म्यूकोसा के डैमेज होने से डिस्टर्ब हो जाता है, एंड हाइपोप्रोटीनेमिया इज लीड्स टू दैट इज कॉल्ड बोटल जॉ. यहाँ पर स्वेलिंग हो जाएगा, बोटल जॉ. यहाँ पर सब मैंडिबुलर एडिमा और कॉमनली नोन एज बोटल जॉ इन केस ऑफ एम्फियोस्टोम और फैसियोला इन्फेक्शन ड्यू टू हाइपोप्रोटीनेमिया व्हिच due to the selective permeability of the mucosa of the intestine. So amphiostome are plaque feeder because mucosa को ही खा जाता है, which result ingest the intestinal tissue, generally duodenal tissue. This cause immature amphistomasis. This is the hookworm, that is voracious bloodsucker part. This is pale. Infected host become anemic. This result pale buccal mucosa. Then tick infested cow. Tick is a bloodsucker ectoparasites which result anemia in the host. Then another harmful effect caused by parasite is mechanical blocking or mechanical obstruction in the intestine या mechanical intestine in their predilection site, जहां पर पैरासाइट जिस ऑर्गन में रहता है वहां पर मैकेनिकल ऑब्स्ट्रक्शन करता है. मैकेनिकल ऑब्स्ट्रक्शन like example of toxocara. Toxocara is a nematodal parasite commonly found in calf, buffalo calf, and cattle calf. This found in the small intestine of the calf. So this causes mechanical obstruction, mechanical blocking of the intestine, and sometimes large number of parasites cause obstruction and blocking of the intestine, ultimately rupture of the intestine, and which cause death of the infected calf. This is the Toxocara vitulorum. This blocking the intestine of the infected host. This is the Monegia expensa. This is the cystode. This found in the small intestine of the host, generally sheep, and cause mechanical obstruction in the intestine. Commonly देखिएगा sheep या goat में इस टाइप का फीता कृमि मोनेजिया एक्सपेंसा उसके इंटेस्टाइन में मिलेगा, उसके इंसाइज कीजिएगा तो उसको काटिएगा तो दिस कॉज मैकेनिकल ऑब्स्ट्रक्शन, क्योंकि वो बहुत सारे फंक्शन को ऑब्स्ट्रक्ट कर देता है इंटेस्टाइन के फंक्शन, क्योंकि दीज आर द लार्ज वर्म. मोनेजिया एक्सपेंसा, टॉक्सोकारा विटुलोरम इज ए लार्ज वर्म and large number when present in large number of worm cause mechanical blocking or mechanical obstruction of the intestine. Then mechanical obstruction of bile duct like fasciola. Fasciola जैसा हम पहले बता चुके हैं, fasciola immature fluke found in the liver parenchyma, and adult fasciola found in the bile duct. When these are the leaf-like structure, fasciola is found in the bile duct. Bile duct देख सकते कितना नैरो होता है, उसमें यदि पैरासाइट रहेगा, then cause obstruction and blocking of the bile duct. That leads to hindrance in the function of the bile duct. Also Cholinergic sinensis, commonly known as Chinese liver flukes, also found in the bile duct. This also causes obstruction in the bile duct and leads to hindrance in the function of the bile duct. Then Dirophilaria immitis is commonly known as heartworm, found in the right ventricle and pulmonary artery of the infected dog. This is the creamy color Dirophilaria immitis. This is roundworm. This lead to hindrance and in the function of the heart of the duct and lead to congestive heart failure in the infected dogs. Then another harmful effect is hemorrhage. Some of the parasite cause hemorrhages in the infected host. Like one of the important parasite is Emeria, commonly known as coccidia, cause hemorrhage in the intestine, and fasciola. I have told previously, fasciola also cause mechanical damage of the liver parenchyma and ultimately damage of the liver. Hemorrhage in the liver. Emeria is a protozoan parasite, intestinal protozoan parasite, and cause hemorrhages, bloody diarrhea, hemorrhages in the intestine and leads to hemorrhagic diarrhea symptom. This is the hemorrhages in the intestine caused by the Emeria species. Different type of Emeria species found. Most pathogenic, most common infection in case of poultry is Emeria tenella cause cecal coccidiosis. Means Emeria tenella cause hemorrhages in the cecum of the infected poultry. And Emeria infection generally found in the young chicks. Adult are generally carrier for the Emeria species. So hemorrhages occurs during the different type of parasitic infection. Then some of the parasites release toxic products like hemolysin, histoanticoagulant, neurotoxins, and which results various type of symptom in the host. Like hemolysin caused by released by the trypanosoma vacci. It is toxic product. Hemolysin cause hemolysis of the RBC and ultimately lead to loss of RBC, means anemia in the trypanosoma vacci infected host. And hookworm, that is, and Haemococcus contortus is a voracious blood-sucking parasite. Both are blood-sucking parasite which release toxic product inside the host is anticoagulant, which inhibit a hindrance in the coagulation of blood, so the parasite continues suck the parasite till the result. ये सब जो हिमोकस कंटोटस हुकवर्म है जो बहुत ज्यादा ब्लड सक करने वाले पैरासाइट हैं और ये एंटीकोगुलेंट रिलीज करते हैं और एंटीकोगुलेंट होस्ट में ब्लड क्लॉटिंग को इनहिबिट कर देता है, जिसके कारण जब तक चाहता है पैरासाइट हिमोकस और हुकवर्म जब तक वो होस्ट से ब्लड सक करते रहता है. Then another type of toxic product released by ticks, that is ectoparasite, is neurotoxin, which cause paralysis in infected host. एक neurotoxin release करता है in infected host during the blood sucking of the host, and which release large number of ticks when infested, and large amount of neurotoxin enter inside the host, which ultimately result in paralysis in the infected host. Then some parasite release granuloma formation with like Schistosoma nasalis cause cauliflower-like growth in the nasal mucosa. This is the eggs of Napoleon head shape. A specific morphology of the Schistosoma nasalis is Napoleon head-shaped egg. This is the egg. This is the adult parasite. This is the female parasite. This is the male parasite. And this is the egg found in the nasal mucosa. This is the blood fluid and found in the nasal mucosa, nasal vein, and cause cauliflower-like growth in the nasal mucosa. Then some of the parasite cause itching, alopecia. Itching means irritation, khujli, and alopecia means loss of hair, and dermatitis, inflammation of skin abnormality. Most commonly, mites cause mite infection. This is also ectoparasites found beneath the skin. And cow, this is the Demodex mite, commonly found in dog, cause alopecia, itching. This is mites do not cause alopecia. Sarcoptes, Soroptes cause alopecia and itching in the infected host. Then parasitic infections cause anorexia, hindrance in the absorption of food, sucking of the blood, ultimately leads to decrease the growth rate. क्या होगा? ब्लड की कमी होगा, न्यूट्रिशन की कमी होगा, तो अल्टीमेटली ग्रोथ रेट इन्फेक्टेड होस्ट का डिक्रीज कर देगा, which result to milk production of in case of milking animals, and reproduction and drought power capability of the infected host decrease during parasitic infection. Then some of the parasite cause anaphylactic reaction inside the host, because I have told previously, hydatid cyst is a metacystode larval stage of one of the cystode is Echinococcus granulosus, and sometimes hydatid cyst rupture inside the host and cause anaphylactic reaction is the hypersensitivity type of reaction. This is a harmful type of immune reaction occurs in the inside the host and result to the death of the infected host. Then some of the parasite cause abortion in the infected host. One of the most common parasite, protozoan parasite is Trichomonas fetus, cause early abortion in the host. Early abortion is 9th month का pregnancy होता है, तो before 6-month pregnancy they cause 8 to 16 weeks after conception. Trichomonas fetus cause abortion in the infected cattle. So this is known as early abortion caused in the infected. Trichomonas fetus is protozoan parasite commonly found in reproductive tract of infected host, commonly found in vagina and uterus in the cows and trapezial cavity in case of bull. Another protozoan parasite Toxoplasma gondii is also called abortion in sheep, and this is also found this zoonotic parasite and some women also abortion. Then some of the parasite cause allergic dermatitis. This is the hypersensitivity type, immune type of immunological reaction because during flea biting, this is the ectoparasite release flea saliva contain hapten. Chemical is a hapten. This is the partial antigen.
भैया कह रहे थे कि वहाँ पर गिराइएगा,
Hello.
वही जहाँ पर जो गिराए थे वहीं पर गिराइएगा.
This is cause allergic dermatitis in the infected dog. This is the allergic dermatitis in the infected dog. So flea is ectoparasite cause allergic dermatitis in the infected host. Another is some of the parasite also called diarrhea or dysentery in the infected host. One the common is fluid-fitted diarrhea, that is known as shooting diarrhea, जिसको कहते हैं पिचकारी के समान दस्त करता है, पूरा फ्लूइड ही रहता है, पूरा पानी ही डायरिया में रहता है. Due to the immature paramphiestoma cervi, this is the plague feeder and cause immature amphistomasis. I have discussed previously. Amphiostome is a plague feeder, feed the tissue of the duodenal mucosa and disturb the selective permeability of the host and cause fluid-filled diarrhea in the infected host, that is known as shooting diarrhea. Another type of dysentery, that is amoebic dysentery caused by Entema histolytica. This is the zoonotic parasite, zoonotic protozoal parasite and cause amoebic dysentery. Dysentery means when diarrhea containing mucus of blood is known as dysentery.